Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about the many flaws and issues with Crossout that have led me to decide to leave the game permanently. From the terrible player-run market that Crossout uses to disguise actual weapon prices, which is even worse on PC, the atrocious one-sided matchmaking system, to one of the most toxic and abusive communities I've ever witnessed. Today I'm going to be talking about what went wrong with Crossout. Firstly, let's talk about Crossout's egregious pay-to-win market practices. The player-run market is often used as an excuse by Crossout to charge its player base literally thousands of dollars for weapons almost required to play competitively. Relic weapons are direct upgrades to their legendary counterpart, and most uranium-making clans require you to have them. We'll talk about uranium later. The relic weapons on the Xbox Marketplace often sell upwards of 45,000 in-game coins, which if you were to purchase with real money would be 600 USD for a singular weapon. Not to mention, you may require 3 of these supposed relic weapons on a singular build, plus the expensive movement parts and modules for the build to function. A stable price to put on an in-game ready build is roughly 2,000 USD. As a veteran player, I was lucky enough to trade my way up to these expensive weapons before that method became almost impossible. Additionally, if you thought of trying to craft these relic weapons, be prepared to spend months of time playing this game to earn uranium. And with that, we move on to uranium, a special resource given only to top clans in Crossout. There are only 2 ways to earn uranium in Crossout: winning clan wars above clan rating 200 or having a clan placed high at the end of the season. Both of these methods limit the total amount of uranium a player can earn in a month, meaning it may still take years for a complete in-game build. Though, don't get your hopes up. Those statistics I presented are only if you manage to join a top clan, and most top clans require you to at least have relics to begin with, which completely gatekeeps new players from entering the endgame at all. If you're lucky, you might be able to join a top clan with just legendaries, though you will always be holding your clan back in some way. Also, did I mention you can fuse your relics too? That's right. You can fuse 3 relic weapons together to make one untradeable, slightly more powerful version of the original relic. Though, keep in mind, the stats that improve are random, so you may have to do this process multiple times. So even if you do have relic weapons, you may be fighting others who still have better weapons than you and an unfair advantage. Also, because they become untradeable, when a better relic weapon comes out, you'll be stuck with what you've got. Anyway, what's even worse than the monetization in Crossout is its community. Remember how I said the only way to get uranium is through clans? Well, that means if you ever want to experience relic weapons or just start making a decent amount of coins, you need to interact with the community. Sorry, solo players. The players in this game, even in standard matchmaking, take it far too seriously. I've had more people than I can count on one hand text me racial slurs outside of Crossout. Thankfully for me, I was in contact with a game moderator who could prevent these players from continuing their actions. This game breeds a certain type of self-centered player that just has no patience and no remorse for their fellow players. But really, what do you expect from such a pay-to-win game? On to something positive for once. If you've got the money, you can make some pretty creative art builds in this game. Though, I sure hope you don't want to show them off to your friends. There's only 3 ways to do that. You can upload your build to the exhibition for people to steal and re-upload to get more likes and subscriptions from other players. These same players then brag about it in general chat. You could bring it into a regular match with your friends, though expect a short time to show it off and some angry messages from teammates. Or the most popular method, bring it into the game mode Bedlam. What is Bedlam, you might ask? Well, the developers describe it as a lawless land to test your vehicles on others with no consequence. When in reality, you have massive clans governing who is and is not allowed in Bedlam, and will repeatedly spawn kill you if you don't play by their rules, making the ability to show off your art builds almost impossible at times. I forgot to mention, you can also show it off in PvE modes, but you'll be hindering your team and its maximum of 4 players, so expect some angry messages. Right then, on to the matchmaking. Surely, if you can't be creative or participate in the competitive endgame, you could just relax and play casually, right? Well, not exactly. You see, Crossout works on a power score system where the stronger your car is, the stronger your opponent is, at least in theory. What this essentially means is that new players are constantly slaughtered by veterans with upgraded low power score builds, forcing them to follow a meta to have any competitive chance instead of trying to be creative in the game about building vehicles. Additionally, these veteran players tend to group up into squads of players who are coordinated, while your team, on the other hand, is a bunch of uncoordinated solo players. This is such a major problem that whenever you match against an enemy squad of veteran players, your entire team generally leaves before the match even starts. Not that it matters though, the rewards from these matches for non-crossout premium members is basically nothing anyway. If you want to start making coins as a new player in Crossout, you'll have to do raids. Raids are about the only enjoyable part of the game. Locked behind power score and fuel requirements, there are some unique PvE modes that are actually enjoyable. They're always in rotation to try something fresh, though there are many modes, there are many exclusive interchangeable maps and enemy types. The funnest mode, though, is Awakening. It's Crossout's free roam mode on a massive map with naturally spawning enemies and side quests. It's a shame there's only a maximum of 4 players in a server, though, or it could serve as a better bedlam. In Awakening, there's a main story to follow, global events that are even difficult for veteran players, and as I previously stated, side quests. Unfortunately, all of these in Awakening don't really give much material, so you're better off playing regular matches. I personally think improving Crossout's PvE, incorporating helicopters into it, increasing rewards, and improving player count would greatly improve the game from its current standpoint. Also, did I mention there's helicopters in the game? In specific modes, you can use your helicopter, and it really feels like the developers have shelved the idea entirely. I think if you doubled the power score of helicopters, it would make them a lot more fair to ground builds and make the game mode more enjoyable. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Hopefully someone important at Crossout will hear this and try to improve the game.